Our family's been a bit under the weather, and when you're under the weather, you know what that means? That's right. You don't get to play that many board games. And you know what that means? That's right. It's time to cull some more board games. So, for the final culling of 2022, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. I don't feel like counting right now. You can count with me, play along. It's like Dora the Explorer all over again. But we've got some huge games being culled today, as well as some middling ones. You can be the judge of which are which. I'm also about to cull this boy, I think, because he has just been in the way for far too long. I know many of our viewers will be very sad, and occasionally a few of you guys will be very happy that he's gone, but I promise you he will not be gone for long. Okay, let's get on with the culling. Welcome back, Draco. For our first game here today, I'm gonna go ahead and get the big boys out of the way because they're honestly impeding the lighting that I'm having here showing. And I wanna talk to you first and foremost about Kingdom Death Monster. Yep, it's time. I think it's just finally time to say that, yeah, I can get rid of it. I actually have a buddy who's looking for it. I told him, you know, a few pieces are broken. It's not entirely organized, but it also comes with a few extra things, expansion, so the cardboard organizer or whatever. So if you want it, you can have it for a good price. And I think he's gonna take me up on that. This is a ginormous big box campaign game that I just do not have the time nor energy to play these days. It is one of those things that requires so much dedication to table, and I don't have that. It is just a lifestyle game. If it is not, it is very, very close to it. I've loved my time with this. I've probably put in 10 to 20 hours of this game. Really, really dug it. But at this point in time, it's just too much for me and my situation, and I'm willing to pass it along and let someone else enjoy it, even though I can't anymore. If I want it back one day when I am old and retired or something, then maybe I'll get it then. But for now, Kingdom Death Monster can go. Oh, and this next one, I can't put this on the ground. We're just gonna lay it right there. How's that? How's that? This next one isn't any smaller. In fact, it's actually larger. This is Aeon Trespass Odyssey. I promise, it's not just a white box. This is Aeon Trespass Odyssey. It is what I would consider a spiritual successor to Kingdom Death Monster, though it's not made by the same company. They took some very, 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 very heavy inspiration from Kingdom Death Monster. It is that same old settlement building. It is that same old boss battler. The setting is a bit different, and of course, some of the mechanics are different too. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you what. I got this in, I opened it up, and I was just like, yep, it's beautiful, but I don't need it. I don't need this thing. I want it, but it'll never get played. It would probably not get played for over a year. It's just not gonna happen. So why not, while the iron is hot, while people are looking for it, I'm probably just gonna go ahead and sell it, and move on with my life, and maybe eventually get it. I hope you out there who have Aeon Trespass Odyssey are very much enjoying it or looking forward to it. But since I backed it 3 years ago, my situation has changed quite a bit, and it is not a game that I can foresee myself tabling anytime soon. So that is Aeon Trespass Odyssey, which is on the cull pile. Oh my gosh, those are heavy. Okay, let's move on to a lighter affair game. How about that, Draco? How about Explorers? This is a Ravensburger roll and write game. I actually got this one at Gen Con because they were selling, they were giving away Strike for free with any other purchase. And this was basically my excuse to get Strike. And it shows. I just don't care to really try it. There are other roll and writes that I have that I already enjoy, and this one doesn't really speak to me, though the art is nice and the designer Phil Walker Harding is a good game designer. It's just not one that I've ever really ventured to learn or try out. Honestly, if someone wanted to teach it to me, I'd be happy to play it, but until then, I think I'm just gonna let it go. Maybe even Doolin will take it off my hands, at least try it before I sell it, because he actually is enjoying roll and writes himself these days, and it might be good times, might be good fun. But for me, personally, I don't need it. Bye-bye, Explorers. We'll talk about another roll and write right now. This is actually Twilight Inscription. Talk about a big roll and write. This is one that we have wanted to try for a while now, both Kenny and I. And if Kenny wants it, he can have it for me for pretty cheap. or I can give it to him for Christmas, whatever, but there's no way. There's no way that I need this in my collection. I've played like Three Sisters Roll and Write like 3 times in the past 6 months, and Paper Dungeons like once. There's no chance I'm regularly gonna play Twilight Inscription. This was really a game that I bought for the sole purpose of culling, but I really missed my opportunity when it was still going for 70 and I was gonna sell it to Jeff or Kyle or something, and now it sits in my collection and it's available online for like 45, and here I am sad with a $70 paperweight. So I'm gonna cull it. Okay, that's Twilight Inscription. If you've played it, I would love to hear how it is. It's still one that I want to try. It's just not one that I intend to hold on to, which is the case for the vast majority of these games, just so you know. These are all games that I enjoy. You know me, or if you're new here, you may not, but I'm someone who culls very often. I don't need a very large collection of board games because I don't play that many board games, and when I do, I am not often the sole provider. So it is one of those things that I'll play Kenny's games, I'll play Doolin's games, but I don't need a giant collection of my own. So although these are all great games, or I think they would be great games, they are not games that I need to own on my shelf. I hope I've made that clear. Moving on. This is another one, Cubitos. Excellent game. I really like this game. It's a push your luck dice rolling game. I believe the first time I played it, I said, you know, honestly, I think it replaces Quacks of Quedlinburg in my collection. And I don't think I have any desire to get Quacks of Quedlinburg back, though great game. Admittedly, I love it, but again, just not something I need in my collection, and Doolin owns a copy of Cubitos, so if I really wanted to play that, it's probably going to be with him anyways. I'll just say, hey Doolin, bring over your copy of Cubitos because I culled mine. Excellent little dice rolling game by AEG. It's a push your luck race game, super fun. Love the asymmetric or variability, not asymmetric, but all the dice are different every time you play. They have different abilities. That's super cool. Plays really nicely at every player count that I've tried at, which I think has been 2, 3, and 4. It's been good at all of them so far. So anyways, I hope you enjoy this game. I did too, but not one that I need to hold on to my collection any longer. Okay, we've still got a few left. Another pretty sizable ad here. We have Clank Legacy Acquisitions Incorporated. This is a big legacy game, one that I wanted to play and still want to play desperately, but I would need commitment from Emily and Danielle and Doolin before I felt the desire to hold on to this. It's one of those that my player group is just no longer there for legacy games. Doolin and I are often playing new stuff, and if we are playing legacy games, it's likely that we're playing something like Oathsworn or Frosthaven. We don't have time to also play Clank Legacy, though it is one of the ones that I was most excited for, especially because it's over in like 14 plays compared to Gloomhaven, Frosthaven, which are like 100, whatever. I'm still excited for those. But anyways, Clank Legacy, Acquisitions Incorporated. I love Clank. I want to play Clank Legacy, but not in the cards right now. We'll come back to it one of these days when Clank Legacy 5 comes out and I actually have the time and availability to play some of these bigger box legacy games. I hope you guys aren't angry at me. Do you feel differently about me when I call games like these? Because I kind of feel like I'm just not a board gamer, and I want to know if you guys feel the same way. I mean, I want you to say, no, it's fine, but I also want you to be honest. So let me know what you think. Okay, this is Disney Sorcerer's Arena, an excellent little 2-player dueling game, skirmish game. Basically, you're using 3 different Disney characters and battling it out on a map. They're all asymmetric. You have a lot of card play going on there. Honestly, really, really fun dueling game. I really liked it. I actually got the first expansion. I wanted the Jack Skellington expansion. It's a game that I really enjoy every time I play, but it's not a game that's going to get regularly tabled. If I was going to play something like this, I'd rather play something like God Tier by Steamforged Games. I'd rather play Kill Team if we're going big. I'd rather play something a little bit more meaty, because it's one of those things that the theme appeals to a much broader array of people, but those broader array of people that are attracted by the theme are normally not into these skirmish games. I think if I could get them to play it, they'd probably enjoy it. But again, a game I've really enjoyed, but it's just sat on my shelf for quite some time now, and I don't really see the point to owning it anymore. I'll let someone else get on with it and have a good time with it. Then we have, I've talked about this one before, I begrudgingly, or actually I begrudgingly went to cull it, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna hold on to it, but yeah, I'm back. It's time to get rid of it. This is Concordia Venus. It's time for it to go, finally, actually. Kyle has a copy. I think Kenny might even have a copy. Someone in the Louisville trifecta area, wherever, has a copy. I don't need my own. It's literally been on my shelf for 3 years, and I've played it it's been on my shelf for 5 years, and I've played it a half a time. Like, if there's one game that needs to go, sadly, I think it's Concordia. As much as I really loved my play of it, am I wrong? You're gonna sit here and tell me that I'm wrong? She came down in a bubble, bro. It's not fun when you don't play along, Draco. There's supposed to be a back and forth here. All right, okay. Oh, then we have Scandal O. This is actually from the in the Scandal O video, I mispronounced their name. I said Megacorpin Games, Scandal O. It's basically a spiritual successor to Awkward Guests, and I've found, after playing Awkward Guests multiple times and playing the prototype of this a couple times, that I think I'm happy to just own one. And I think that, you know, most of you probably would be the same way, and it comes down to art and theme. For me, I know a lot of people hate the bland art of Awkward Guests, but I don't mind it, and I prefer the murder mystery theme than I do the political intrigue theme. So it's one of these that I think this game is amazing. I think Awkward Guests and Scandal O is one of, if not the best pure deduction game out there. I love it. As a big fan of Clue growing up, these games are incredible, but I don't need both versions of a very similar game when I'm only gonna table it once every so often anyway. So for me, I chose to keep my beloved Awkward Guests, and I'm gonna sell on Scandal O. And then lastly, for now, we have Lords of Hellas. This is another game that I really, really like. I've played it once and a half, and I've enjoyed my plays every time. It's got that asymmetry, it's got that variable win conditions where you're basically fighting over monuments or area control or defeating monsters, and I think it's so cool that you can win in 3 different ways. But honestly, it's just not a game that I need to have personally. I look at my shelf, I look at Spirit Island, I look at Cosmic Frog, I look at all these games that are competing for the same similar playtime. To clarify, not that those games are all that similar, but they're still competing to reach the table with the same people that Lords of Hellas is. And it's just harder and harder to justify keeping it on the shelf. It's a game that I want to love and I want to play again and again, but the rules overhead is too much for my tiny little feeble brain, and I just can't hold on to it, and I just gotta let it go. It's just time for someone else to have it, and they can enjoy it, and if they want to teach it to me, or if someone else wants to bring it to the table, or if Kenny wants to buy it off me, Kenny, are you listening? Or if Kenny wants to buy it off me, I'd be happy to let him have it. I'd be happy to let him have it. We could play it. I just don't need it on my shelf. I want someone else to learn it. I don't want to be the responsible party for that. But it's a great game. I think you should try it. I think you should let me know if I'm making a mistake with any of these, just as you always do. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Let me know down in the comments below what you've gotten rid of lately, if anything. Are you preparing a cull for the Christmas haul? Or are you preparing a haul for the New Year's haul? Or whatever you're gonna do. I don't know, let me know. I just like to hear what's going on with your collections because I enjoy sharing mine with you. Thanks so much for watching. As always, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Join our Discord, and if you didn't notice already, there's merch here. It's coming very, very soon to a website near you, tablenauts.com. Go bookmark it, it'll be live soon. Love you all, see you later. Bye-bye.